Hey folks, Zach from Dark Horse Tackle. Welcome to the merry, merry month of May. Now, May is a nuts month, okay? You could be looking at a whole bunch of different things as far as fishing conditions goes. We all know that the weather is nuts. It's all over the freaking place. But as far as what the bass are doing, you could be looking at up to 3 different things that they're doing. They could be in post-spawn, they could be in spawn, or they could be in pre-spawn still, okay? We take that into consideration here at Dark Horse Tackle when we build these boxes. And we want to set you up for success. So in this month's box, we have got you covered. All right. We're working with a bunch of great companies. We're working with Brazalo Custom Lures, Prodigy Custom Lures, Jawtech, Cornerstone Baits, Bass Reaper Bait Company, and Madmouth Bass Bait Company. All together to bring you a box that is going to catch you bass in this crazy month. All right. There's a few other things I'd like to talk about before I turn it over to Josh. First off, we had a little USPS postal system issue, and we didn't actually get the cards and stickers from Pride Rods last month. That's why you didn't see them in your box. But they're going to be in this month's box, okay? Pride Rods, let me tell you, I own one, all right? This rod is freaking amazing. Okay, I love this thing. They use Gary Loomis blanks. You got Fuji guides on there. Fantastic company. It's veteran owned, and they really make a very, very top-notch, top-shelf rod. So please check them out. The next time you're thinking about upgrading your rods, check out Pride Rods. This month, we have Evolve Fishing as the small business that we're highlighting. Something we're not putting in the box, but we want to make you aware of. And they actually make rod sleeves, something to protect that investment, okay? Because let me tell you, good rods aren't cheap, and you need to protect them. Josh is going to tell you a little bit more about that. Now, before I let you go, I want to talk to you about the Dark Horse Tackle Quarterly. This is a first of its kind box, okay? You might only get 2 baits in that box. You might get 4. Usually we like to keep it around 3. It's $155, but what you get in there are garage baits. These things are hand carved, hand poured, the whole 9 yards. These are top-notch, top-shelf baits, like drop style baits. You're not going to find these anywhere else. And usually what's going on in this box, you're not ever going to be able to get again. So they're available for pre-order right now. Make sure you go to our website, check it out. If you're into that kind of stuff, order one now, because we only make 15 to 25 of them a month. The other thing I'd like to talk to you about is the Dark Horse Tackle Golden Ticket. All right? If you find one of these in your box, you are one of 3 people that found a golden ticket in your box. If you found one, you've won something. We've got 3 levels of prizes. The grand prize this month is this beautiful glide bait from River City Baits. All right, this is a $100 retail value. It's called the Little Bass Turd, and it catches flat out. All right. If you find one of these tickets in your box, make sure you get a hold of us. All right. We're going to let you know how you can take whichever prize you've won, whether you be first, second, or third. And we're going to tell you how to turn that into even more free stuff and even more baits. So get a hold of us if you find one of those in your box. Now, we all know the bait man himself, Josh Chitwood. He's going to let us know about what's exactly in your box this month. Take it away, Josh.
Thank you, Zach, for the warm welcome as always, and thank you, subscribers, for yet another month of the Weekend Warrior Box and Dabble Pack. It is May. I'm super excited to talk about these baits. May is one of my favorite times to fish because, again, it's just that weird, like, pre, regular spawn type deal, and the baits that we've put together in this box are definitely going to help with that. So let's get it started with the Brazalo Custom Lures spinnerbait. These are wire tied, hand painted, the Dark Horse tackle way. You get it. And the spinnerbait just won the heavy hitters competition. Alton Jones Jr. was throwing the heck out of that thing down there in Louisiana at Bussy Break. And I want to talk about one specific spinnerbait Zach had Danny at Brazalo design, and that is the bone spinnerbait. I think we should call it the Bone Crusher, but let me know in the comments what you think we should call it. I think Bone Crusher is a sweet name for this, but this spinnerbait is crazy nice. Like, it just, oh my goodness. That bone color is just such a smooth color in the first place, and the bone color flat out catches them. Again, Zach and I have been just absolutely destroying bass with the baits that we're putting in these boxes. And every month we go out and test these baits, and the spinnerbait has just been working. Spinnerbait's a great bait year round. I would definitely say it's a lot of people's favorite baits. You can cover a lot of water with this thing. I mean, you can keep it up at the top, you can keep it at the middle, you can keep it at the bottom. Slow roll it, fish it fast. You can fish it however you want. It's a very easy bait to get started in bass fishing. It's also a very easy bait to just catch fish. This bait just flat out catches fish. We've got about 2 million different colors in the box, so let us know in the comments which color you get. I also want to know your favorite way to throw a spinnerbait. I love short targeted pitches or short casts, maybe 20 feet at the most. Throw it right into the structure, burn it out, and then slow it down as you leave the structure. Throw in again, slow roll it out of the structure, then burn it back to the boat or burn it back to the bank. I love throwing spinnerbaits inside of structure, almost like it's a jig, but just trying to get that reaction strike, because that reaction strike on a spinnerbait is just remarkable. They knock the crap out of this thing, and Zach will tell you firsthand, they knocked the crap out of this bone spinnerbait the other day. Next up, we have an awesome flipping bait, but it can be used for more than a flipping bait. We'll get into that in a second. This is the Prodigy Lures Pulse Crawl. Check this thing out. The first thing that comes to my mind is flipping, pitching, punching. But you can also use this thing as a jig trailer, a bladed jig trailer. Shoot, you could probably run it as a spinnerbait trailer if you wanted to. But this bait is effortless. These little flappers just move. And you can cover a lot of water with it. You can fish it slow. I was using this as a jig trailer. I was also throwing it on the back of a bladed jig. And then I was throwing it by itself. It's going to be a great bed bait because it is a smaller profile. Look how slim that thing is. I mean, it's a super slim profile, especially compared to the rest of your beaver baits. But this is an excellent hybrid design. It's got that, that slim body right there. And it's got those ridges there that's going to move some water. And then we have the money maker right here. I mean, these things just flap like crazy. There's a couple smaller ones here, but the appendages on this bait make excellent action. Again, just like we always do at Dark Horse Tackle, we've got a ton of colors with these Prodigy Pulse Craws. As you can see, we've got two different ones right here. My favorite color has got to be this orange and green pumpkin deal. But again, let us know which color you guys got. We want to know what you guys are getting. We want to know how you're going to fish it. We want to know everything and anything that's going inside your head, because we have our ideas. We want to know your ideas, and that could help us build better boxes. Next up in your May Weekend Warrior box, we have the perfect bait to pair with the Prodigy Pulse Crawl, and that is the Mad Mouth Bass Bait Company Living Rubber Image Jig. This is a hand-tied rubber jig with some silicone in it. And the cool thing about those two materials is that they float differently in the water and they act differently in the water. So this jig is definitely already giving you an edge because it could be something the bass haven't seen yet. A lot of people don't do rubber with silicone. Some people just do straight rubber. Some people do straight silicone. But we love this jig from Mad Mouth. The owner at Mad Mouth was working tirelessly on these. But let's talk about the football jig. A lot of people think deep water. A lot of people think rocks. A lot of people think, summertime. I love throwing a football jig when it's flipping season, because a lot of the cover I fish is like mixed cover, right? I've got rocks, I've got laydowns, I've got sticks, I've got brush piles. There's a lot going on. I'll have a brush pile with a log jam next to it, and underneath it is chunk rock. So throwing a football head jig is a lot of times my favorite option. One thing I like about football head jigs compared to a lot of your other jigs is it does have a really nice straight shank hook that accompanies pretty much any trailer. So this pulse crawl is going to be perfect. We've got a ton of colors for you guys. Again, this is a hand-tied jig, the Living Rubber Image Jig from Mad Mouth Bass. It's a beautiful jig. We've got a ton of colors. We want to know what colors you guys got and what your favorite trailer is to throw on a football jig and when you like to throw a football jig. Again, I'll throw this thing year round. different jigs and different structures. You know, it's all intertwined. There's a different jig for each type of structure, but I get away with throwing a football head jig a lot. I'll get heavier once the water starts to warm up, and then I go deeper. But I love throwing a 3/8 ounce football head jig here in the early spring and during the spawn. All right, next up, we got another soft bait for you, and this is a springtime special. We have got the Morbid Minnow from Bass Reaper Bait Company. Bass Reaper Bait Company has been one of our favorite companies to work with. They are just such a great little small business. They make a bunch of neat baits, ton of great colors, and guess what? The baits catch fish. This looks like a new color. It's called Real Shad. We've never gotten this color from Bass Reaper before, but it is just a nice minnow style bait. You can rig it weightless. You can throw it on a Carolina rig. You can even put this on a Ned rig, a ball head jig. You can get a lot of different action out of this bait. If you are a slow fisherman, if you like a finesse presentation, or you're into power finesse like me, you can do a lot of stuff with this bait. This is a great bait to fish on beds, like if you just nose hook it and put a short little drop shot on it, or even a ball head jig. Like I said, if you just get that thing darting in the bed like this, it's going to upset something. Something's not going to like this thing in its bed. Throw it weightless on top of a bed. You can throw this thing in the weeds, in the brush, anywhere you want, and it's going to come out, especially when it's just Texas rigged, weightless. It's got a nice little hook slot up here. So if you're into the whole Texposing deal, you don't have to worry too much about that hook popping out. I would recommend like a 3 to 4/0 hook on this. This is a bit of a bigger body. It's a nice, solid, dense bait. It's got great action. I've caught fish pretty much all year using these style baits right here. I pretty much exclusively throw the Bass Reaper Bait Company Morbid Minnow solely because we have a great relationship with them and we love supporting them. Again, let us know how you like to fish these and let us know which color you got. Next up, we've got yet another hard bait for you guys. We've got a spinnerbait, a jig, and a square bill from Cornerstone Baits. This is the DP 1.5. Comes in a bunch of fish catching colors, very natural colors, very nice bait fishy colors. It's a square bill, everybody. It is a square bill. You know what square bills do. They flat out catch fish. But this square bill is set apart solely based on its hardware. It comes equipped with Owner ST36 hooks and Owner split rings. Owner ST36 hooks. I don't know why I keep saying STX. Either way. ST36 hooks are one of the most popular hooks on the market, and they are so nice. I actually use them on most of my crankbaits and jerkbaits. Depending on the weight of the actual ST36 hook, I will swap into a jerkbait to get a different action, or use a bigger hook on the front of a square bill to get a different action. But these are perfectly balanced. I have tested these. I love this crankbait. It's a great square bill. Square bills are pretty much square bills, right? But they catch fish, and finding your favorite square bill is so important in the fishing game because you're going to be throwing a square bill, pretty much 90% of where you go. Everybody's throwing square bills. Everybody's got a square bill. So finding your favorite square bill is very important. Super nice 1.5 style blank. Again, this IU color has this crazy foiled gold gill plate, and this is my favorite color out of the box. I want to know what your guys' favorite color square bill is to throw. Now, we do stray away from those chartreuse black and like some of your more generic colors. We want to show out at Dark Horse Tackle. We want to show you guys what these guys are made of, right? But one thing that you're going to receive in your box is you're going to receive a couple of promotional items, stickers, and business cards from a company called Evolve. So Evolve makes rod sleeves, right? This is a neoprene rod sleeve with a thermoplastic coupler here at the bottom to sit at the base of your rod, like right near your reel. It comes with a really nice elastic lasso, which is optional for your trigger on your rod. It's got a thermoplastic tip to protect the tip of your rods. Now, when to use a rod sleeve is very important because if you are a boat fisherman like me, I have a rod locker and I need this. It's upside down. I need this to protect my gear. When you're busting down a lake and those rods are bouncing and touching each other, you can break tips, you can get the line tangled up. This is just a very efficient option to use. Also, if you're somebody who fishes big water and you like putting a rod sleeve on your rod, or you're scared that your rods will fall over, these things float. So you guys up at the Great Lakes, or you guys fishing big water that tends to get really windy and nasty and choppy and you're scared of losing a rod, I would highly recommend one of these. This neoprene, again, it's very hook resistant. You're not, this is going to come out right away if you get it caught in there. It's just got a little bit of fabric, but you can easily pull it right out. It's not going to get stuck like those mesh ones. I have bought those mesh rod sleeves before. I'm not very impressed. They do disintegrate, they do unravel, and this is not going to unravel, it's not going to disintegrate. It's a very over-engineered rod sleeve. But if you're a big, serious, big-time fisherman like me, I'm telling you, I'm fishing 80% of the year. I'm not fishing 80% of the year in a boat, but if you fish 80% of your year in the boat, definitely invest in some rod sleeves. Protect your gear. These are our tools. If you're a tournament fisherman, these are our tools, man. If you go into a tournament and you're busting your butt down a lake and there's 3-foot rollers and you're breaking rods, that's a bad deal. This is going to help protect those rods. It's going to help protect the tools that you carry when you're out there trying to get a job done. All right, lastly, for the May Weekend Warrior Box, we have one of Zach and I's favorite companies to work with, one of our best friends for life. Colt from Jawtech sent us some punch shads. He actually sent you guys some punch shads, but we've been buying from Jawtech for a long time. The punch shad is a super nice swim bait, right? It's 3.8 inches. It's got a very flat body compared to your circular swim baits. Gives it a little bit different of an action. It's got a very wide wobble. Again, this is a super versatile bait. You can put this bait on the back of a football head jig that you got in your box. You can put it on the back of your spinner bait. I would not recommend putting it on the back of your square bill, but if that's what you want to do, please, by all means. I love this swim bait. It's got a great action. It's super tough, especially on like any kind of screw lock jig head. It's a very tough bait, but it's got very good action. So it's soft enough to get good action, but it's tough enough to remain resilient under a ton of bites. I've got a bunch of content on my Instagram of me, utilizing these baits. I love this swim bait. This is one of my favorite soft swim baits to throw. We've got a ton of colors again, but we want to know which color you guys got and how you plan to fish it. And before I send you guys on your way to go fishing and catching all these fish with these baits from this box, let's talk about the golden ticket. This month we have a River City glide bait. Very nice glide bait. It's a bone color. And if you get a golden ticket, we're going to number them again. We're going to do the drawing on the last Tuesday of the month like we always do. And it's going to be fun. Third place is going to get a very overbuilt, overstock box. And then second place is going to get a Bass Basics box behind me with an overbuilt, overstock box. And the grand prize winner is going to get a glide bait, a Bass Basics box, and an overbuilt, overstock box. So be sure, if you won this, if you've got this, share it on Instagram and tag us. You can even collaborate with us. Please, by all means, we want all of you to collaborate with us. We want all of you to share the products that we sent you. We want you to share your fish catches. This is what we do. This is what we love. We love seeing people catch fish. We love seeing people diversify their options when it comes to fishing. Back in the day, all I did was throw, your square bills and your comfort baits. But owning Dark Horse Tackle, I have really broadened my horizons to baits that I never saw myself throwing, and I'm so happy I did. And I'm happy you guys are too. Keep on fishing. Have a good month, everybody. We'll see you on the Instagram lives.